Welcome back to the Oscars. I'm your host, Some Guy. Once in a while, Hollywood actually makes some decent decisions, but every year the Oscars reminds us that that was an accident. This year, like every other, the Oscars continues the bold tradition of not including a Best Stunts category. So I figured, fine, I'll Thanos it myself. So without further ado, here are some of the movies I saw this year that I think deserve a nomination for achievement in Best Stunt Person Falling Down Good, in no particular order. Argyle. Look, this movie was very goofy and very silly. The plot makes no sense, and the marketing was very bad. But it had some of the most creative fight scenes I've ever seen. There's a scene in the third act where all this oil spills on the floor, and Gwen Stacy straps knives to her feet, and then just starts skating around and killing all the bad guys. It's not how anything works, and the sequence is mostly done with CG, at least in the final product. But if you look at the previs stuff, holy shit, they did most of this for real? What the fuck? It's this perfect combination of all kinds of really talented people working flawlessly together. They use stunt people, they use real figure skaters. The camera operator is also skating around. Just look at this shit, it's crazy. This sequence was originally designed by the late great Brad Allen, who did the choreography for this, and even this one. Wow, what a legend. But unfortunately, he passed away before Argyle was completed. Rest in peace, you absolute legend. F's in the chat. Nothing but absolute respect for the love, passion, creativity, and raw talent you brought to this craft. And major props to the whole team to bringing this insane idea of a scene together. And the rest of the action is also pretty good. I like the smoke grenade fight. It's pretty cool. And also there's a train fight in this movie, and any movie with a train fight gets a pass from me. Bad Boys 4. Bad Boys do it again. So I actually didn't see this one. I saw the third one, Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for Life, which is the best of the trilogy. And it had this really cool camera move where they rotate it while they're turning their gun upwards and shooting at the bad guy through the floor. And I thought that was really cool. And anyways, the same director did this one, Bad Boys, Here We Go Again. And I saw this crazy behind the scenes clip. Will Smith has this crazy camera rig and he's doing POV shooty shoot stuff while also kind of operating the camera. It's really crazy. So I looked up the scene on YouTube and it absolutely rules. It's so crazy. There's an alligator that flies through the ceiling. There's this insane drone shot that goes through all the whole building and then transitions into a first person shooter section where at one point they pass a gun between Martin and Will, and it's just so cool looking. What the fuck? Why did this scene go so hard in a Bad Boys movie? Who even cares? I don't know. The helicopter crashes through the building and it looks cool. It's a really good action scene for no reason. Again, I didn't watch this movie because I don't really have much interest in it, but this one action scene goes so hard that it deserves a nomination. So here it is. Deadpool and Wolverine. Does this movie have the best stunts of all time? No. But they're consistently pretty good. And maybe even the best of the Deadpool trilogy. A product of the post-John Wick action scene, even corporate Disney slop can have this cool Oldboy-inspired one-take scene that gets slightly ruined by the editing. There is actually a really interesting interview with the editors of Deadpool and Wolverine that goes into why they edited the scene the way they did, and it actually kind of makes a lot of sense. I just want to be able to see the full sequence on the Blu-ray or something, because that sounds cool. And the earlier fights in the movie are also pretty good. I really like the car fight, and this movie was a really fun theater-going experience. Good job, Sean Levy. You're less of a hack than I thought you were. Fall Guy. My boy David Leitch, a former stuntman turned director, making a movie about a stuntman becoming the main character. How could I not talk about this one? A lot of great action in this one all around. They beat the car roll record previously held by Casino Royale. And the movie does a great job of highlighting all the stunt work that goes into making movies look cool. I especially love the behind the scenes montage in the credits. I actually think I like this more than the actual movie. My one nitpick with this one is that there are certain scenes where I feel like they kind of get over edited, and it kind of takes away from the real stunts that are actually happening. Like this crazy garbage truck fight where the bin falls off the edge and then it starts like spinning around and Ryan is still trying to fight a guy while there's like a dog jumping to the front seat also fighting a guy. It's very creative and cool, but the movie keeps cutting away to Emily for comedic scenes, and there is like technically a story reason for this, but if you watch the behind the scenes, it's like the craziest shit you've ever seen, and I feel like it gets watered down a lot in the final product. Nevertheless, still a great action movie with a crazy amount of incredible stunts, and does a great job of highlighting why this art form is so important and so crucial to making movies cool. Again, like it's a shame there's no stunt category at the Oscars, because this movie kind of points out that this would be the perfect time to add it. Like, what are we doing? Monkey Man. An absolute love letter to several different action genres, by writer, director, star Dev Patel. The last act sees Mr. Monkey transition from a kitchen fight to an elevator fight to a bar fight that becomes an all-out battle sequence. It's kind of like when the Ewoks join the battle in Return of the Jedi. If the Ewoks were a bunch of trans and non-binary Hindus with sickles and brass knuckles. It kicks so much ass. There's this one part in the elevator where Dev stabs a guy, but then his arms get pinned, so he bites on the knife and pushes it further into the guy to finish the kill. Dev also does a ton of the choreography himself. He puts so much of his blood, sweat, and tears into this movie. He broke his hand like early on in production, and they just like put a screw into his hand to hold it in place and kept filming. The movie and the filmmaking is so scrappy. I love it. The camera work starts off like kind of shaky, but then as Dev grows in skill, the camera work smooths out a little bit and we get a lot more wide shots and more longer takes as the character becomes more confident in his fighting skill. They show his character arc and progression through the craft of filmmaking and how shots are laid out. It's fucking genius level stuff. Absolutely incredible movie. Completely deserves a nomination. Roadhouse. So this is a kind of weird one. Doug Liman is a pretty good action director, and obviously the fights on display are like well choreographed and performed well. Conor McGregor is a real life fighter, so he knows what he's doing. Jake Gyllenhaal looks incredible and plays this weird sociopath, and I love it. But looking at these fights, you may have noticed that something looks off. So they tried this new technique where they filmed these fights multiple times. Once like slowly to get real physical contact in there, and then once at full speed punching pads, and then once at full speed getting punched by pads. And then the final movie is like a combination of all of these different takes to try to use like the real physical contact and the real motion of getting hit and hitting something.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
And I don't think it quite works. The final product is so Frankenstein together that everything just looks rubbery and fake. There's like this ludonarrative dissonance, which is not how that term is used, but there's a disconnect. You can tell that the fights like are good and well choreographed, and there are elements where you're like, I think that's really them doing it, but then there's also this like rubbery CG-ness to how everyone looks and feels. So I don't know, it's an interesting experiment. I don't think it quite works, but there's still a lot of talent and skill on display here, so I think it at least deserves a shout out.
Do you have it in you to make it epic?
Furiosa. Some people didn't appreciate Furiosa as much as Mad Max Fury Road, and those people are most people because no one saw it. But also most people are wrong because Furiosa fucking rules. It absolutely kicks ass and deserves to be witnessed. It's not just an epic, it's an odyssey, taking a more mythological approach and diving deep into this fully realized world. Anya is gorgeous and intense, and Chris Hemsworth plays the most Australian man ever. It's amazing. But how are the stunts? Fucking awesome. That's how. There's a bit more VFX incorporated here, but it's usually so that they can move the camera in ways that'll make you go, wait, how did they do that? Plus, the creativity and pure carnage on display is second to none. This part where the sand skier becomes a sand flyer in one unbroken take, are you kidding me? They fly now? The spinny death ball thingy? I swear, this one sequence has more cool moments in it than almost every other movie this year. Only the genius mind behind Happy Feet and Babe Pig in the City could bring us this masterpiece. And those are all the major action scenes and stuff that I wanted to talk about. There were probably some other ones that I missed, but I forgot or didn't see them. What did you think? What other stuff should I have talked about? Leave a comment in the comments and tell me what I'm wrong about. That's about it for this fake Oscars. They should give stunt people awards at the Oscars because they're a big part of why movies are cool. And yeah, like the more I learn about the stunt industry, the more I'm interested in just that and not anything else to do with filmmaking. Not that there aren't talented people working in every department, but boy, those stunt guys really put everything on the line to make shit look cool. So mad respect for me. You guys all deserve all of the Oscars. Take them away from everyone else who wins and give them to the stunt people. That's what I say. But that's it. Thank you for watching. Leave an angry comment about what other action movies that came out last year that I should have mentioned. Bye-bye. Happy Oscars or whatever. See ya. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.